Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and on this video there's quite a few things to negotiate about. I am going to be giving you the latest news on what Javier Hernandez has come out and said, because Javier Hernandez recently was talking on Rio Ferdinand's locker room on YouTube, and Javier Hernandez has criticised Manchester United for appointing David Moyes in. And also, Javier Hernandez has spoken about, his time at the football club. Javier Hernandez also criticised David Moyes for not allowing him to leave the football club in the 2014 January transfer window. But Javier Hernandez insists that he has nothing personal against David Moyes in that. But he also did say, Hernandez, he was one of the players that had to leave out of the three players, I think, that, did leave in that under David Moyes and that. So he has criticised the football club as Javier Hernandez for Man United ever appointing David Moyes in. I think he was also talking about, David Moyes not being on the same level as the likes of Pep Guardiola at City and, Jurgen Klopp and that from Liverpool. But like I mentioned before, we did make a big mistake by recommending David Moyes in. It was actually, Alex Ferguson that recommended David Moyes in. Like I said, Ferguson endured 26 years at Manchester United. Obviously, the vast majority of our success came under Alex Ferguson. I think we won a total of 38 major honours under Ferguson. Don't forget though, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club, and at that point he was close to getting the sack. But the only mistake anyway Ferguson did make was ever recommending David Moyes in. But I think the main explanation why I recommended Moyes in is because he had a lot of time for David Moyes then. And plus, they are both Scottish and that. So they're the main explanations, why Ferguson ever recommended him in. But we always knew, he was never going to have the stature, to get us in that commanding position, where we did want to be, And he's not a manager to the top level anyway, is David Moyes. But Moyes only lasted around, was it 8 or 9 months with the football club. I think under the David Moyes era, we did finish 7th. Moyes, did recommend 2 players in when he was at the football club. He recommended Marion Fellaini in. We paid just over £27 million for him. He's no longer here now though, Fellaini, because he left in January 2019. He was the first player to leave under the Solskjaer era. We got Mata in, but Mata, of course, is still at the football club. And I think Juan Mata is now into his 6th season at Manchester United and that. So there you go. Obviously, Moyes, before he came to us, obviously, he was at Everton. He was a very, very long-serving manager for Everton, was David Moyes. I think he enjoyed like 10, 11 years with Everton, and he did very, very well with Everton, to be fair, but never, really won out in terms of silverware. But yeah, Javier Hernandez, so this is what he's come out and said. Javier Hernandez, of course, is a former Manchester United player, as you all know. I think Javier Hernandez did endure around 5 years at the football club. I think we recommended him in 2010. Obviously, at that point, we had Alex Ferguson. I think Javier Hernandez did score, was it like 57 goals for Manchester United? Obviously, he was a super sub, Javier Hernandez. He seldom started for the football club. Javier Hernandez, now I think he's at LA Galaxy. I think before he was at LA Galaxy, he was at Sevilla. Don't forget as well, he was at West Ham. He was also at Bayer Leverkusen. I think he was also at Real Madrid. I think after he left us, he went to Real Madrid, did Javier Hernandez and that. But yeah, a lot of United fans will agree, that we did make a mistake by ever recommending, David Moyes in that. So this is, what Javier Hernandez anyway has come out and said. Definitely in that. But obviously, after David Moyes left the football club when he got sacked, I think David Moyes' last game in charge was actually, our 2-0 defeat to Everton. We had a lot of bad defeats under the Moyes era. We had the 3-0 defeat to Liverpool. We had the 3-0 defeat to Man City. We got knocked out of the FA Cup by Swansea 2-1 that. Got knocked out of the League Cup by Sunderland. So there you go. But after, Moyes got sacked, don't forget we did recommend Louis van Gaal in. And Louis van Gaal, of course, lasted longer than Moyes. Louis van Gaal endured 2 years at Manchester United. Like I said, we got some silverware under Louis van Gaal. We won the FA Cup under the Louis van Gaal era. Like I mentioned, Louis van Gaal did recommend a lot of players into the football club. I think he bought around 14 players, did Louis van Gaal. But there again, he got rid of a lot of the players that we had under the Alex Ferguson era. Louis van Gaal brought players like Daley Blinden, Marcus Rojo, Darmian, Schneiderlin, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Di Maria, Herrera, Falcao, Depay, Martial and Shaw, who of course are still at the football club. I think we've got a Sergio Romero on the free. I think there's only a couple of players here now from the Louis van Gaal era, because the vast majority of the players that Louis van Gaal brought in have now left Manchester United and that. So there you go. Like I said, I give you the news on Van Gaal the other day. And he regularly, talks about, Manchester United, and he opened up on his experience at Manchester United. And he actually, highlighted the mistakes that Jurgen Klopp's managed to avoid at Liverpool. Van Gaal feels as though that he never got the players that he wanted to sign at Manchester United, so he criticised Ed Woodward for that. He also criticised our board as well. You had Wayne Rooney coming out the other week, like he updated you, and he insisted that Man United should have stuck with Louis van Gaal and we should have given him a third season at the football club. And Wayne Rooney did say, he made the admission saying, Louis van Gaal is one of the best managers he has actually, played under. Don't forget Rooney endured 13 years at Manchester United and he's our all-time leading goal scorer with 253 goals in all competitions and that. So there you go. So it didn't work out under Van Gaal, and obviously after Van Gaal got sacked, we recommended Jose Mourinho in. Obviously, Jose Mourinho's actually endured the longest tenure at the club since the Alex Ferguson era. Mourinho endured 2.5 years at Manchester United, and Mourinho recommended 11 players into the football club. And analysing it now, the vast majority of these players are Jose Mourinho's. There's only a few that have left. Who Jose Mourinho brought. And, Jose Mourinho brought Lindelof in, he brought Eric Bailly in, he brought Lee Grant in, he brought Dalot in, he brought Pogba in, he brought Ibrahimovic in, he brought Sanchez in, he brought Mkhitaryan in, he brought Fred in, he brought Matic in, he brought Eric Bailly in and all that. So, yeah, Jose Mourinho, recommended a lot of players into the football club, and Jose Mourinho, did win 2 trophies in his first season at the football club, and that was the Europa League and the League Cup. But, the main explanations why it didn't work out under Jose Mourinho is because, the board weren't back in the signings that I wanted to recommend in. Also, too, he had bad disputes with the board and all of that. And, he's got a bad reputation with the top players because he had a lot of bad disputes, with our top players at the football club. But I think, we recommended Jose Mourinho in too late. We really, really did in that. Jose Mourinho, of course, got sacked in December 2018 and that. And obviously, then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer replaced him. And now, obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's been at the football club for around 17 months. So he has been at the football club nearly a year and a half now as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, including, the 3-month period when he was the interim manager. Solskjaer did very, very well in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager, and that's the main explanation why Man United give him the job permanently and that. Give him the job permanently. Like I said to you, I have seen changes under Solskjaer, than what I saw under Jose Mourinho. And Solskjaer, a while ago, was talking about, the changes he has made at Manchester United since replacing Jose Mourinho in December 2018 and that. I've taken positives so far from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tenure. There's also some negatives, I credit, the players that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's recommended in so far. Because he has recommended 5 players into the football club and he has spent over £200 million on them. Last summer, Solskjaer brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in, and in January he brought Bruno Fernandes and Odin Igalo in. We got Igalo on loan, don't forget, so Solskjaer so far has made 4 permanent signings at the football club. I think also too Solskjaer's promoted the youth very, very well, because quite a few of the young players have been given their opportunities this season. Greenwood's been given his chances. Brandon Williams has been given his chance in that. But there again, some young players have found game time difficult. Angel Gomez, he's found game time difficult. Tahith Chong's, his appearances have been limited at the club. James Garner, his appearances have also been limited as well. So there you go. And Like I said, our record against elite opposition this season's been good because we've taken 17 points against the big six sides this season. We've taken 17 points against them. You know, we've beaten Manchester City 3 times. Solskjaer became the first manager in history to beat Pep Guardiola 3 times in one season. Also, too, we've beaten Tottenham twice since Solskjaer came in. And beaten Jose Mourinho once. Also, too, due with Liverpool earlier on in the season, that Solskjaer's overcome Frank Lampard 3 times. I don't think we've lost to Chelsea since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended into the club. We are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. Before the football season got suspended, we was in a good vein of form and that, you know. So when the season does resume, Solskjaer will be under pressure to keep this good run of form up. You know, he really, really will be in that. And I also credit Solskjaer as well, you know, because he has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into the football club. We have seen a total of like 19 players leave since Solskjaer came in. I think around 8 or 9 senior players left, and I think around 10 young players left. Of course, the players that left, Ashley Young left this year. He left permanently, went to Inter Milan after he endured 8.5 years at Man United. We saw Rojo go out on loan in January to Estudiantes. To be quite honest with you, I think we are going to be getting rid of Rojo permanently. I think we want around £12 million to get rid of Rojo permanently. I think Estudiantes want to get him permanently, and I think Boca Juniors are interested. Like I said, Smalling went out on loan to Roma last summer. I think we want around 17 or 18 million pounds to get rid of Chris Smalling permanently in that. And Paulo Finesca, the Roma boss, has said that he wants Chris Smalling to stay at Roma, and Chris Smalling wants to stay himself because since he went out on loan to Roma, he has been a revelation. But we won't take him back at Man United. But Smalling did endure 9 years at the football club. He did, you know. Like I said, Valencia left last summer after he endured 10 years at the football club. So he's another player that left under Solskjaer. Also, too, don't forget we've got Joe Pereira out on loan. We've got Dean Henderson out on loan and that. Darmian left the football club last summer. Of course, Ander Herrera left the football club last summer after he endured 5 years at Manchester United. In reality, I think we made a mistake by getting rid of Herrera. We'll let him go on a free transfer to PSG. No, Fellaini left in January 2019. Lukaku left the football club last summer. And of course, Alexis Sanchez went out on loan to Inter Milan. So to be fair to Solskjaer, he has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in to the football club and that. Yes, he did. So that's very, very positive. And like I said, the negatives are that you can say maybe we made a mistake by giving Solskjaer the job permanently. Other element of concerns I've got about Solskjaer is that his approach to the games against lower opposition haven't been so good for the vast majority of the season. You know, he hasn't really seemed to have a plan A, or he hasn't really had a plan B. He's inexperienced as a manager, so that's another element of concern I've got about him. But to be fair, he's gaining more managerial experience. Like I said, he's been at Man United nearly a year and a half. Man United is the third club in his managerial career, because before he was at us, he was at Molde, won a couple of Norwegian titles with them, and before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. And he endured a very, very short tenure with Cardiff. I think he only managed 29 games for Cardiff, did Solskjaer. You know, the main explanation why he got sacked from Cardiff is because, you know, he got Cardiff relegated and that. Don't forget, from 2008 to 2010, Solskjaer managed the Manchester United reserve team. And like I said, you know, he did watch some of this team this day and age grow and develop and that. But like I've said to you, know, Solskjaer does deserve more time at the football club, because he's still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team. Like I've said before, is inheriting the vast majority of Jose Mourinho's players and that. And so far, he's enjoyed 3 transfer windows at the club. So the summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. And it is a transition period, and it's been a transition period for quite some time. And it's hopeful, you know, that we can get through this transition period. But I can assure with you that Solskjaer will be here next season. Give him another season. If it doesn't work out, then get rid of him. Of course, Solskjaer was very, very close to getting sacked earlier on in the season. Very, very close to getting sacked. And at that point, there was talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in. There was talks of Pochettino coming in. Don't forget, Pochettino was linked with a managerial role at Man United before Solskjaer got the job permanently. And that at one point, Pochettino was the favourite to take over. But obviously, Ed Woodward has said on quite a few occasions this season that he's willing to back Solskjaer, and he's assured that his job is safe, even though we have enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season, stuff like that. So Ed Woodward is willing to back Solskjaer. But, I haven't only been critical of Solskjaer for the vast majority of the season. We've also been very, very critical of Ed Woodward. Reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been. Also reflecting on how poor... reflect on his poor selection of managers. Obviously, he's being criticised for us overpaying for players in recent years and that. So there's reasons why we've criticised Ed Woodward, and Woodward has been at the football club since 2012. Obviously, the Glazers, we've been very, very critical of them as well. The Glazers have been at Man United since 2005, and it's now 2020, so the Glazers have been here 15 years, and I think we've paid approximately 1.5 billion in 15 years for the privilege of being owned by the Glazers and stuff like that. By the way, he updated you, the Glazers have got no intentions of selling the football club, and now they've no intention of selling the club, but it did reveal last year that the Glazers were talking. with the Saudi Arabians and that. So they've got no intentions of selling the football club of the Glazers. Now, like I said to you, anyway, it's going to be interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer approaches the summer transfer window. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of uncertainty for the summer transfer window and that, but a lot of clubs are going to face an unprecedented summer transfer window, due to the coronavirus crisis, and, there's uncertainty over the finances. But I think we can be competitive in the summer transfer window and that, and I think we can get the players that we do want in. Solskjaer has said he wants to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer transfer window because he believes we need around 3 or 4 signings to become title contenders next season. And that, so and he's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up Solskjaer and that. Don't forget, we recently taken a £140 million loan out of our £150 million revolving credit facility. And I think the main explanations why we've done this is, to help us get through the coronavirus crisis, and also to help us fund moves in the summer transfer window and that. So there was only 10 million that we didn't draw, so we're drawn a £140 million loan. Yes, we did in that. Don't forget Ed Woodward, the other week, spoken to investors on a conference call, and our latest financial figures got revealed, like I've been updating you a lot recently. And obviously, our debt had risen up by almost £130 million, and our net debt now is around £429 million. Don't forget, the first 18 days of lockdown cost the club £23 million. And I think the coronavirus pandemic has cost us around £28 million and that. But we did say we do expect the final figure to be higher. Don't forget, Ed Woodward did say, was it a month or so ago now, that we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market. So in that aspect, he ruled out big transfers to Man United, and he did say, we won't be spending hundreds of millions of pounds on players and that. And don't forget, we are the richest club in England, and we're the second richest club overall in the world, because I think we are worth around 2.84 billion in that. But Solskjaer may have around £150 million to spend in the summer transfer market. It said before we're taking this £140 million loan that, we may find it difficult to give Solskjaer an official transfer budget and that. But we know the players that, he wants to recommend in, and that, our priority targets are Jadon Sancho, Jude Bellingham and Jack Grealish. They are our priority targets in that. We're going to generate money in the summer transfer window as well, because we're going to get rid of players. I think we're going to get rid of around maybe 5, 6 or 7 players in that, like I've already gone through with you. So we are going to generate money in that way. I think we're going to get rid of Jones, like I mentioned, Small and Rojo permanently. They're going to go. Jesse Lingard and Andres Pereira, I think they're going to go. Possibly, Delo could leave the football club as well. The news on Sanchez, positive news has recently come out regarding him. Still a lot of uncertainty over Pogba's future, but I think Pogba's staying at the football club. So yeah, there you go and that. So there you go on that. But yeah, I give you the news, didn't I, on Jadon Sancho earlier on today. By the way, I still think my video is uploading about that. There's actually no positivity coming out regarding Jadon Sancho in some aspects. Actually, saying that Sancho, wants to leave Borussia Dortmund. These reports have been stemming from Germany recently, and he will not be signing an extension on his contract with Borussia Dortmund. But I think, we've got element of concerns about, recommending Jadon Sancho in. Some reports have said, Sancho is really feeling the pressure because he's aware of the speculation. But I think, he wants to come and reunite in the Premier League because it will be very beneficial for Jadon Sancho's footballing career. Now, reports have come out today saying that we are going to discuss loans and swap deals with Borussia Dortmund, to try and get Jadon Sancho and to fund the £100 million move for him, because Dortmund still remain ruthless over their valuation. They have still said, they do want at least 100 million. We said the other week we are not willing to smash our transfer record for Jadon Sancho. We're not willing to do it. I think it mentioned that we're only willing to pay 60 or 70 million pounds for Jadon Sancho and that. Don't forget, reports were coming out this week saying that we are willing to offer Alexis Sanchez, or we did offer Sanchez to Borussia Dortmund as part of a swap deal of getting Jadon Sancho in. Like I said, Sanchez's substantial wages at Man United, could be the stumbling block of that swap deal materialising. Swap deals are very, very rare in the modern game anyway. Inter Milan sporting director has confirmed that Sanchez will be staying at Inter Milan until the end of the season. Depends on how he performs. If he's to do well, then maybe Inter Milan could get him permanently. So that's a lifeline for us, is that even though Sanchez is on loan at Inter Milan, we're still paying the vast majority of his wages. We're still paying like 300 grand a week, and Inter Milan are paying like 100 grand a week. He's had injury problems at Inter Milan. Don't forget, Sanchez endured a difficult 18 months at Manchester United and that. But I don't think that swap deal will materialise. It won't materialise. But Jadon Sancho's our number one priority target. Don't forget, we've already said that we're willing to offer him the number 7 because we have got number 7 vacant at the moment, and we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. If Sancho is sold, like I mentioned, I think City do get a 15%. They get around 15% of the transfer fee due to the couple of clauses that took into Dortmund from Manchester City. Don't forget David Ornstein, who's a very credible journalist. He came out a couple of weeks ago and said there's a very high chance he'll join Man United in the summer transfer window because, we are still emerged as the favourites to sign him. We first expressed our interest in 2017 under the Jose Mourinho era, so we've been interested in Sancho for quite a few years. Borussia Dortmund is the third club in his playing career. Obviously, he's now in his third season with Borussia Dortmund. He's been a revelation in Germany. Dortmund only paid £8 million in from Man City. He's got a contract with Dortmund until 2022. Like I mentioned, the main explanation why I left Manchester City is because he didn't get any first team opportunities, and before he was at City he was at Watford, and he began his footballing career with Watford, did Jadon Sancho. But I think he's revealed his preferred option is a move to Manchester United. Is Jadon Sancho's, it's his preferred option and that, And like I said, he's predominantly a right winger, and Manchester United are in search for a right winger, and he is only at the age of 20, is Jadon Sancho and that. There's been quite a few other clubs in for him as well. You've got Chelsea, that have been in for him for ages. Liverpool were in for him, Real Madrid, also to Barcelona and that. But I don't know if we're going to get Jadon Sancho on the board. I really, really don't, But he could stay at Dortmund, and he could leave next summer instead of, leaving in this summer transfer window. Like I said, Dortmund are known as a selling football club, like I've mentioned before. We've been working with Jadon Sancho's agent for quite some time. We've also been working out his contract. But yeah, there you go. So the news on Sancho. By the way, he's recently had an haircut and he's had tattoos of Sonic the Hedgehog on one of his arms and tattoos of Simpsons on his the Simpsons on his other arm as well. And Sonic the Hedgehog, yeah. But there you go. The news on Odion Ighalo. There's reports actually coming out saying that Odion Ighalo could leave the football club tomorrow, because tomorrow his loan deal at the football club expires, and the date is the 31st of May when his loan, does expire. So we've got to come to an agreement sometime today, with Shanghai Shenhua overextending his loan if he's to remain at the football club. If we can't come to an agreement with Shanghai Shenhua, then, Odi Nagalo's going to be going back to Shanghai Shenhua. Don't forget, reports said earlier on this week that Migalo will risk a 75 million contract with Shanghai Shenhua so he can stay at Man United until the end of the season. Don't forget, Shanghai Shenhua did say they want around £20 million if they are to get rid of Odi Nagalo permanently. Maybe we've got reservations about paying 20 million though. Solskjaer's already made the admission that he wants to get Odi Nagalo permanently or wants to extend his loan. Nagalo also wants his loan deal at the football club extended and all of that. But like I said, we got Nagalo in on loan on January deadline day, and we paid around £4 million to get him on loan. Don't forget, Sky Sports did say not too long ago that Shanghai Shenhua have softened their stance on the Igalo situation, and reportedly they will allow Igalo to extend his loan at Man United until January, providing that Odi Igalo does sign a 2-year deal worth £400,000 a week and that. So maybe he could accept this. But I think Shanghai Shenhua did say that they expect Odi Nagalo to return in time for the start of the new Chinese Super League season and all of that. So we've got to make a decision now on his future. But I've got to say, he has been a very, very good cover-up to Marcus Rashford as Odi Nagalo. He really, really has. But, is he staying or is he leaving? That's the question. And like I said, Man United, we've got a lot of strikers on our agenda. And if we don't, obviously, get Igalo's loan extended or get him permanently, then I think, we need to recommend a striker in. There's been a hell of a lot of strikers on our agenda, there really, really hasn't that. Like I confirmed with you guys yesterday, the dates have been announced for the FA Cup. The FA Cup quarterfinals will be on the 27th and the 28th of June. The semi-finals will be on the 18th and the 19th of July, and the final will be on the 1st of August. I think European games are going to be played in August as well. And these 92 games to play in all competitions. Still a lot of games to play. There's 9 games remaining in the Premier League. Don't forget the Premier League season is going to be resuming on the 17th of June. That's been confirmed earlier on this week. And the Premier League season will be finishing on the 25th of July. And by the way, I think games are going to be venued at neutral grounds and that. But actually, a lot of teams were protesting against that. Don't forget the Bundesliga has recently returned not too long ago. The Bundesliga, yeah. Also, too, I think the La Liga is supposed to be resuming on the 8th of June. So it's just good, that football is coming back because the Premier League's been suspended for around, 10 weeks or something now? It's been suspended, the Premier League. It's been suspended, since the 13th of March. And that. We have been in training yet again today. We don't forget we named a 29-man squad for when the season does resume. So don't forget that. So I'm very, very delighted about it. And we've got things to look forward to for when the season resumes. We're chasing the top 4. We're sitting 5th in the Premier League at the moment. We're 3 points behind Chelsea. FA Cup's a priority for us. The Europa League's a priority for us. Because we are into the FA Cup quarterfinals. We're playing Norwich in the quarterfinals. We're into the last 8 of the Europa League. We've still got last to play in the second leg, but obviously, we're 5-0 up from the first leg. So obviously, we are going to be into the last 8 of the Europa League and that. And there are chances of us getting some silverware on the board. And if we could win both or even one of them, it would be a memorable first full season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Don't forget we've got a fully fit squad for when the season resumes. Rashford's now back from his back injury. Pogba's now back from the ankle injury, that he did have and that. There's decisions Manchester United have got to make as well. Don't forget, there's decisions we've got to make before the season resumes or ahead of next season. There's decisions we've got to make. Facing a dilemma at left back. Who's going to be our first choice left back next season? Is Luke Shaw going to remain our first choice left back, or is Brandon Williams going to become our first choice left back? We've already made the decision, goalkeeping decision. We've already made that decision. David De Gea is going to remain our number 1 keeper for next season. Dean Henson will probably be loaned back out, but we've already said Dean Henson will be allowed to stay at Sheffield United on loan until the end of the season. We've got to make a decision on Pogba's future. We need to know what's going on with Diego Dalot. Maybe as well, Solskjaer needs to work out his best 11. Maybe he needs to work out his best formation as well. So there you go and that. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.